and he broke me spoon.
Okay everybody, doing something completely different today. Not doing anything mechanical, not doing anything particularly farm related. We are doing some yabbying. So generally each year for the Australia Day weekend, this weekend, we try and get out, do some yabbying on this weekend because it's usually pretty good weather. I like to have it pretty hot when you're doing some yabbying and seem to get more. It's only going to be, I think, about 32 today, which isn't stinking hot, but it's warm enough. It'd be nicer if it was like 35. Yeah, it's probably better weather, but see how we go. So, gonna chuck a few nets out, catch some yabbies. For those who don't know what a yabby is, you'll soon find out when we pull one in. Sort of looks like a mini crayfish or a lobster. So yeah, I'll bait these nets up and then chuck them in, and we'll periodically come back for the day and drag them in, see how many we get. So I've got some just some barbecue lamb chops sitting here. I've had them sitting out in the sun all day yesterday, and they've been out this morning, so they're a bit ripe, but that's what you want. So we'll chuck a lamb chop in each of these nets, and that should be good enough to attract the yabbies anyway. And being Australia Day weekend, you've got to use lamb. Be rude not to. Probably don't really need to tie these in here because they won't be able to drag them out, but it's good to keep them in the centre, because if they're over near the side, then the yabbies can sort of just nibble at them along the side of the net, and then they won't crawl into it, whereas if they're in the middle, they'll crawl in and get stuck. So it's one net ready to go. It should be all right for what we're doing. So quickly do the rest of them, we'll chuck them in. Alrighty, got them all baited up, so we'll make our way around the dam and choose the best locations, which I alone know because I'm a yabby whisperer, and we'll chuck these nets in and see what we catch. Yeah, you get that sometimes, folks. You may recognise these. These are the broken ends off the hay rake on the fingers. They're perfect for using as a peg for the yabby nets. You can even use them as a tent peg, I suppose. They're pretty good. Yeah, that's what we use them for anyway. So, reduce, reuse, recycle. What?
That was a good one.
Alright, so been around, chucked them all in. Yeah, probably just leave them in there for an hour, hour and a half, come back, see what we got, collect them up, chuck them in a bucket, and chuck them back out again, and we'll just keep coming out through the day. Try and get up a decent amount so we can have a bit of a feed tonight. So, be back at you when we come back out and pull them in. Right, everybody, we've come back out to the dam. It's probably been a couple of hours, I think, hasn't it?
Hour and a half.
About an hour and a half, apparently. So we're gonna go around now, drag all the nets in, see what we can, see what we got, and then we'll chuck the nets back out, leave them for a little bit longer, and we'll come back out again. Oh my God. Oh, got a few good ones in there. So what we'll do is, Danega's got a bucket, we'll grab the bigger ones out and we'll chuck the small ones back. So a little one like this, you could take, some people probably would take this one home, but not me, he's a bit small, so we'll chuck this one back and he can grow a little bit longer. We'll get him next year. Here's a good one here. What we do, we check also, they'll have their eggs along there, the females. We check there's no eggs. If there's eggs, we'll also chuck them back. But this one's got no eggs, so he's a keeper. Some of them get these little parasites on them, these white dots. I've done a bit of research. I did find out what they were. I can't remember what they're called now. Apparently they just live on the yabbies. They don't actually do anything to them, and it doesn't really cause any dramas. But yeah, it's just these little bugs that live on them. So, but yeah, it's alright. Alright, we'll chuck the net back out. Of course, the next one. A few good sized ones in here.
much over this side.
It's in deeper, I think. That's not going to go back. Alrighty, so I got a bucket, got a fair few in there. I'll chuck them into the bigger bucket now. That's not bad for one round. I'll get a heap of water and chuck in there. I'll come back in a bit and chuck some more. Alrighty, back again for round two. So we'll go around again and see how many yabbies we get.
Where?
That wriggling thing.
hand.
Alright, we just finished doing our 4th round. Coming out before and did a 3rd one. Didn't film any of it though. We didn't get that many on the 3rd round, but this is what we got on the last one. So I can just go in with the rest. So we'll load that all up onto the ute, we'll take it up to the house and we'll prep that for some cooking. Alright, we're up at the house, just giving the yabbies a bit of a clean off with some fresh water. That's what we ended up catching, all them ones in there. So it's probably about 50 or so, maybe, a little bit less. So we'll give them a bit of a clean up with some clean water, blast any dirt and rubbish off them, and we'll bring them inside and we'll cook them up. Alright everybody, we're in the kitchen here up at the house. I've got all the yabbies here, just in the big tub. Got a big pot of boiling water there. Poor mate. What are you laughing at?
You.
Yeah, so basically we just get a big pot of boiling water, chuck the yabbies in, and 5 minutes or so, when they turn orange, they're pretty much done. So I'll chuck all these ones in and then we'll let them cook. I'm just going to use a pair of tongs because I'm don't really want to get bit. We just chuck them straight in. Alright, so I might have to do 2 batches because there's quite a few. So we'll let this boil away. Basically you can see they've got a bit of an orange tinge to them now. But once they're fully orange, they're generally cooked, so give them about 5 minutes or so and they should be cooked. Alrighty, so they're pretty much gone completely orange. They've been in for about 5 minutes, I think. So we'll start taking them out and chuck the rest in. Alrighty, there's one batch done. Let the water heat up a bit more, chuck the rest in, and then we'll get to the job of peeling them. Alrighty, got all the yabbies, they're all cooked, just in the sink there at the moment. So I have to start peeling them. Might try and go and get the old man to try and give me a hand because this takes forever. This is the worst part about yabbing, is peeling them. Just takes forever. So see if I can get Dad to give me a hand and we'll smash it out. Alright, I've coerced Dad to give me a hand to peel these yabbies, so we'll let the expert show us how it's done. You want to explain how to peel a yabby properly in Australia?
No, not really. You just tear the tail off and pick the shell off, like so. Haven't done it for a while. And then you take the poo shoot out, because we don't want to be eating poo, especially yabby poo. Put him in there and we get the claws, because there's good meat in those claws, and we put them aside as well.
Alright, so we'll peel all these and give it a wash up and then, yeah, go from there. Alrighty, so here's all the meat now. I've also done a fair few of the claws as well, to use a nut cracker to open them up and peel them. So we got all that meat from all of that there. So there's not a great deal of reward for all the work. But that's what yabbying is all about. So now that they're all peeled and whatnot, we'll get the sauce going. With the sauce, if you're a real Australian, This is how you do it, and you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not Australian, you're about to learn. You get all your yabbies, put them into a bowl. And then you just get a bit of vinegar. You want to get them all doused. Get them nice and coated in it. A little bit more. Alright, so we've got the vinegar in there, and then just crack a heap of salt on it.
Not too much.
I don't mix it in that. Yeah.
Australia's finest.
That's how it should be prepared. Salt and vinegar, and that's all, the Australian way. If you like other sauces, not just salt and vinegar. It's got a bit of sweet chilli, mayonnaise, tomato sauce, all mixed up in a little bowl. That's not bad for just dipping it in. A little bit, it's like 1,000 Island, I guess, something like that. What do you reckon?
Good shit.
Alright, so that's pretty much done. So this is the end of the first and last cooking with camshaft. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed the video. Something a bit different. Yes, as I said before, it's a straight A long weekend. It's on straight A's on Tuesday, but yeah, so that's what we try to do. We straight A, is try and get out, do a bit of yabbying. So hope you all enjoy the video. See you in the next one.